guys, my name is Mr. Marcus White, and I'm your host for the comment section. Welcome back to another episode. I know it's been 2 weeks since you and I last talked. You know, I was in Brazil celebrating my birthday. All right, do it like it's my B-day, baby. Shout out to Jocelyn Hernandez for that awesome song. But if you didn't know, my birthday was last Tuesday, March 4th. Yes, I am a Pisces. That's the reason why you love this podcast and you love my blog page. You know, Pisces are really, really good people. And I think that people gravitate towards us. I don't really hear anything negative being said about a Pisces. And yeah, I think that we're one of the best signs. And I'm not really into the zodiac signs. I'm not really into my own sign. I just know that a lot of people always tell me that Pisces is one of the best. When people hear that I'm a Pisces, they smile, they get excited because we're peaceful people, and we're about people. We're a ride or die. So yeah, just in case you didn't know, I am a Pisces, and like I said, that's the reason why you love me. I'm hoping you love me. But yeah, this is my first time actually celebrating my birthday out of town. Like, I've always celebrated my birthday in town. But this is my first time celebrating outside of the state that I live in. In my 34 years, I've never done that before. And I really shouldn't be counting this trip as a birthday trip, but I am counting it as one because this trip wasn't a birthday trip for me, let's just say. The group of guys want to go on vacation and the dates just happened to fall on my birthday. Cause let's be real, these people I travel with did not plan to celebrate my birthday with me. No shade, all tea. You know what I'm saying? Like, out of the group of guys, only one of them is my best friend of like close to 10 years. But in fact, I actually celebrated my birthday alone. So the day of my birthday, everybody had left to go home. So my plane didn't leave till like 7 p.m. that night. So I just spent the day at the beach reading, reflecting, and just doing some alone time. Just enjoying some alone time. And honestly, can I be honest with you guys? Like, I still haven't celebrated my birthday. Yeah. Like, no one has offered to take me out to dinner. No one has even sung happy birthday to me. Of course, I got text messages from people. But I hate to be, I don't want to be like mopey and depressed or whatever. Especially after the last podcast, what I said on the last podcast. But this is comment section and I like to keep it real. No one had like called me to like sing me happy birthday or just to say happy birthday to me. I got text messages, I got DMs, I got the Instagram post. But you know, I'm just really surprised that, none of my friends has offered to take me out to dinner, offered to celebrate me. All right. Like it's just my life. It's just my life, you all. I just have to laugh at it, right? You either laugh or you cry. So yeah, still haven't celebrated my birthday. I still haven't celebrated my birthday. So I guess we could just celebrate here on the podcast. So here's my Gatorade. So cheers to 34 years old. May this year bring the happiness I've been missing. So let me take a sip though. Sorry, I'm a little thirsty. I got sick while I was on my trip. I'm not sure if it was food poisoning or sun poisoning, but I been throwing up and having diarrhea issues. Sorry, TMI. And I've been back for a week now. But when I was on the trip, it was real bad. I was for 10 hours, close to 15 hours, like 10 to 15 hours straight. I was literally throwing up and having diarrhea issues every 10 minutes. I thought I was going to die. So 3 of us, end up getting sick out of the 7. So I was trying to just figure out what did the 3 of us do that day? Like, we didn't eat the same food. We were on the beach. We did beach day that day. So we went to 3 different vendors. All 3 of us did not get into the ocean. Only 2 of us, including myself. But the only thing that the 3 of us did do was sit in the sun. And I'm thinking that we got sun poisoned, because we all were throwing up and having diarrhea issues, and we're still doing it currently. And like I said, this is going over now, to go close to 10 days now, that we're having this issue. Um, but I'm really, really, the trip was really fun. I'm really grateful that I got to travel out of the country. Brazil was the furthest that I've ever been. It was a 15-hour travel. Um, and so I'm just really blessed that, even though I'm bitching and sad that no one has celebrated my birthday with me, or even sung happy birthday, whatever. I'm just fortunate that I was able to afford to take myself out of the country, and splurge money on myself. I know a lot of people don't have that privilege to do that, especially on their birthday or just on any day. So I am just appreciative of having the ability to travel out of the country. But I'm still in my feelings about it. Like, it's just, I never got to celebrate my birthday last year. I think that JT and I told this story on the podcast of how, well, I don't want to tell it again. It was just a mess last year. So, this year, when the dates were given, I was like, oh, that's around my birthday. Let's do this trip. So it was a group of 7 of us. Okay. But I did not know, and 7 including myself. So 6 other people. I didn't know 3 of the people. So 3 of us plan to go on this group trip with this travel agency called Salty. Now, Salty is for gay Black solo travelers. So the point of Salty is, just in case you're a gay Black man and you don't have anyone to travel with to these lavish, destinations, you can come on this trip. We can set you up with friends, and it's for marketing and to like network and to to just find some friends. So one of my 3 friends out of our little small circle recommended this travel agency. We did it, and then it made a 7 total of 7 people total, and they were lovely. I got along with everybody. These men, like I said, I didn't know 3 of them. I came with 3. I didn't know the other 3. So the other 3 were very, very, even though, the 3 of us are together, we welcome them, and they're welcoming as well. And, I never been on a group trip when I didn't know other people. I thought it was going to be awkward. I thought it was going to be drama, personalities clashing. It felt like a reality show, honestly, all these personalities coming together for a week. But we all got along, and we all, what's the word? We all had a lot in common, and it was really, really a great, great trip. I don't know if the 3 people who I did not know, if they'll be long lasting friendships. I hope so. 3 of them don't. 2 of them don't have social media, so it's hard to really keep in touch with people who don't have social media. But just in case they are listening, I really did enjoy your company, and I thank you for your kindness and your great energy, because it was deeply appreciated. And our conversations, we had some really deep conversations, and I said this before. People, us humans, open up to strangers more than we do with people who we've known for years. And so I opened up to them, and vice versa. They opened up to me. And I just love connecting with people. I really do. I think that's a Pisces thing. But yeah, great, 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 great trip, great vacation outside of getting sick. The host of Salty, the guy who put this trip together, the one who created Salty, which is a travel agency, he's going to come on the podcast to explain, more about Salty. And hopefully I can encourage other gay Black men to do this trip, because I do highly recommend it. It is a coin. You will be spending a coin. But everything is pretty much inclusive. Like, I only spent maybe $200. That's it. And I don't even think I haven't spent that much money. It might just be 150. But you will pay a good coin to go on this trip. And it's worth it if you ask my opinion. And when I say a good coin, I'll be honest with you. It's a $5,000 trip. So, but it's worth it. You pay for it, that you pay it, that you can do, I paid it full, but you can do what's it called? Monthly payments. I think that's an option. I might be lying. I don't know if you can do monthly payments, actually. I think that was an option. or you could just pay it in full, like what the three of us did. Um, and once you pay it, you're set. The host took care of the travel. He picked us up from the airport. He dropped us off at the airport. He picked us up for all the excursions. Like, we didn't have to worry about anything. He took care of us. So that's what I'm saying. If you don't have anyone to travel with and you want to go, this guy goes to Bali, they go to Rio, they are going to, I think they're going to Thailand next month. Every month he is going to a lavish destination spot. And if you have no one to go with, I recommend Salty. I will put the link. If you're watching YouTube, you will see the name across the video. But if you're listening, I will put the link in the description so you can do your homework and research if you are interested. But take it by me, this is not a scam. I think that he's been doing this travel agency for 2 or 3 years, so it's fairly new. And I do recommend it. I had a great time, and I will actually do it again. I told the host that. I said I will actually do this again. I recommend this trip to people because he took care of us. I like that. I like to be catered to. All right. I like to go on trips and not have to worry about how am I getting from the airport? How are we going to get to this hotel? How are we going to get to this restaurant? The man, he had the rides ready for us. And I was like, I felt like a celebrity. I felt like somebody. So yeah, so happy 34th birthday to me. And hopefully this year, like I said, will bring happiness to me in my life. But we'll see. So yeah. So let's get started on today's episode. We have lots to discuss. All right. We're going to break down the season 16 premiere of The Real Housewives of Atlanta. And then we're going to talk about why Lisa Barlow is refusing to film the new season of Salt Lake City Housewives. And Karen Huger is in jail right now. She's in jail. All right. We got to talk about it. So let's get this podcast started. I just got to give you a fork disclosure. I think I have bronchitis as well, on top of the diarrhea and throwing up. I've been coughing a lot, so if I cough, it's actually getting actually getting better. Earlier today and even earlier this week, I was just sounding like a whore on meth. So if I'm coughing, I do apologize for those who are listening and, with AirPods in your ear. So I apologize. Yeah, I think so. Someone on the trip came back positive at bronchitis. He was coughing the entire time. And then the day that I left, I started coughing. I'm coughing so bad, my stomach is hurting. Like when I even laugh or I even cough or sneeze. You know how you do cramps and you're doing, not cramps, crunches and you're working on your abs? Is that type of hurt. Like, it's a sore. That's how much I'm coughing. It's I'm really sore. But I'm positive I have bronchitis. I still have to go to the doctors to possibly get an antibiotic because I'm not getting better as fast as I should be, I should say. But Karen Huger, so the same day I was leaving for Brazil, Karen Huger got sentenced to a year in jail, and I am just shocked about it. So if you follow me on my blog page, on my Instagram blog page, Mr. Housewives, you would have saw my real-time reaction because I was doing a video reaction. I was in my stories of my thoughts of Karen going to jail. So for those who may not be familiar with why Karen is in jail, a year ago, last March of 2024, Karen crashed her car into a tree. Now, when police arrived, she refused to do a breathalyzer, and then she also refused to do a failed sobriety test. And then officers was noting that she was swaying back and forth when she was just supposed to be standing there. So they arrested her and then charged her with a DUI, in which she actually, I want to say she actually later did a breathalyzer at the police station, and it was way over the limit. Anyways, before she was found guilty, Karen had options. So they gave her an option of doing 60 days house arrest and a year of AA meetings. The latter part might be made up. I know that the house arrest was an option. Maybe probation was the other option instead of the AA meetings, but she was given options. Instead, Karen wanted to take this charge to trial. For some reason, I don't know if she thought that she could just get off without doing the house arrest or her lawyer thought it. They took it to trial, and then when she took it to trial in December, she was found guilty of the DUI. And then in February 27th, the judge sentenced her to a year in prison. And I don't know if I mentioned this on the podcast or if I talked about it when I was doing my live reactions on my Instagram page, but this is her fourth DUI in 17 years. All right. With zero jail time. All right. Zero jail time. 4 DUIs with no consequence, honestly. And when she took it to trial in December when the judge found her guilty, the judge, saw the body cam footage and was disgusted with her behavior. And I know that we discussed the body cam footage on the podcast, and I know a lot of you are following me on my Instagram page, the blog page, Mr. Housewives. So you saw the body cam footage as well, and it was very disgusting behavior. So when she was sentenced, the judge took this all in when he was, giving her sentence, and he thought that giving her a year in jail and a year probation, so she sentenced for 2 years, one in jail and a year in doing probation afterwards. He thought that was the appropriate for her. And I agree with him. 4 DUIs is insane. And the fact that you have not learned your lesson, you would have thought that having the shame of having 3 before the 4th, you would have thought that having 3 DUIs would be shameful for the Grande Dame of Potomac. Granted, she wasn't the Grande Dame yet because she wasn't on reality television, but you still have a title in that community, and you do have friends, and you are well known. You would have thought that you would have been ashamed and you would have cleaned up your behavior. And the fact that you are just still pretty much just risking your life and other lives as well. Good thing that was just a tree and not someone like me walking the dog. Cause I have a dog I have to walk out. Sometimes I have to walk him early in the mornings. Sometimes I have to walk him late at night, like around midnight. Good thing it was just a tree and not a person walking their dog or just walking or jogging or a kid. Karen, you're playing with your life and other lives and you're not taking this seriously. And on the Potomac reunion, she skipped the reunion because she wanted to go to rehab. As they said on the reunion, they believe she only was going to rehab to make the sentence so the judge can go light on her sentencing, to make her look good. You weren't going to rehab for yourself. You're going because you knew you were facing jail time and you didn't want to go to jail. Not a good look, Karen. Not at all. And she didn't take zero accountability. Zero. Whatsoever. And a lot of people were saying, well, how come Shannon Medora got off easier? How come her sentence was lighter? She didn't go to jail. Shannon Medora only had 1 DUI. This is Karen's 4th. Shannon Medora took accountability. The reason why Karen got charged with a DUI is because she took it to trial because she wanted to fight it. Girl, you have an alcohol problem. You are an alcoholic. And I like you, Karen. I really do like you, Karen. But that's the truth. You're an alcoholic and you need the fucking help. Right? I mean, I don't want to be mean about it. I don't think I am being mean, but I think that we all can agree. You did this to yourself. Now, do you think that she kept her wig? That's what I was wondering. Do you think that she's wigless right now? Like, have we ever seen Karen wigless? Does she even have hair? She got a big forehead, I know that. But does she have hair? And how much hair does she have? I'm still trying to figure out where she's at. Because I thought she was in prison, but then one of my followers told me she's in jail. So I'm assuming it's a holding center. But when I tried to look her up, nothing's popping up. Like, you can Google Jen Shaw, the crook from Salt Lake City. You can find out what prison she's in and when her release date is. There's nothing on Karen Huger. I can't find nothing. And she's been in there for 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Karen has been in prison or jail. She's been in jail for the Grande Dame. Child. I just wonder I hope that they are treating her well. Like, I really do like Karen, and I don't want no one to be roughed around. They always make it seem like jail is a rough house. You get bullied, you get in fights. They can refuse to serve you food, the people in the cafeteria, because there's prisoners who's serving the food. I don't know if you guys saw Orange is the New Black, but Piper, the main character who was entering the jail, she ruffled someone's feather. She annoyed somebody, and that somebody was the chef in the kitchen, and they refused to give her food for like a week or two, and she was starving. So I'm just hoping that that's not happening to Karen. I'm hoping that everybody is treating her with respect. You know, when you go to jail, you know, I know that people are angry that they are in serving time for how many years they're in there for, and they just want to take out their anger. But I hope that they are just coming together and not, you know, bullying anybody. You know, like I want to say when Teresa from Jersey, Teresa Judice, when she went in jail, I think she had a lovely experience. I think that she said that the women treated her well. And Jen Shaw, I saw pictures of her recently working out in the courtyard, and she looks like she's getting along with her jailmates. So I'm just hoping that they're treating Karen well. And I was real surprised when they arrested her after her sentencing. They took her immediately. Immediately. Soon as he said, "You are sentenced," and he threw that gavel down, they arrested her and took her behind and took her off to start serving her time. Karen Huger is in jail. Oh, where's her wig? Where's her wig? I need to find out where her wig is at. I want to see her mugshot. I want to see her real hair. I want to see that forehead. Whose forehead do you think is bigger, Karen's or Ashley Darby's? I think they will have a forehead off. You know, like yeah. Oh, poor Karen. You did it to yourself. You did it to yourself. So, poor Karen. You know who I really feel bad for? Angie Stone. Oh, rest in peace, Angie Stone. I was in Brazil when I found out about Angie Stone's passing. For those who don't know who Angie Stone is, she's an R&B singer. She is an icon in the Black community. All right, she is a fucking icon. Angie was tragically killed in a car accident on March 4th at 4:30 a.m. She was traveling from Alabama to Atlanta when an 18-wheeler crashed into her Sprinter van. Oh, excuse me, sorry. That sickness I got, sorry. The van flipped over multiple times. And there were 8 other people in the van, but Angie is the only one who, unfortunately, didn't make it. Investigators are still trying to figure out what happened. Like if the truck driver was in the wrong or the driver of the Sprinter van was in the wrong. How did they collide? Because none of that has came out yet. But when I did my research before I did this podcast, I couldn't find out anything like what caused the accident. She was 63 years old. It's young. And in Alabama, she was at a concert. So there's video footage. I'm sorry. Ugh, I can't talk today. There's video footage of Angie, doing a show hours before her death. And she had a show that same day in Baltimore. And there's a video footage of an announcer announcing her death. She was supposed to perform at the halftime show for a basketball game. I can't remember the particular name in Baltimore. So the announcer had to tell everyone that the halftime show was canceled because of, Angie passing away. That's really, really sad. Like I said, she was an icon she was an icon in the Black community. Her song, Brother, is one of my favorite songs. It's a powerful anthem for Black men. It goes, "'Cause you're my Black brother, strong brother, there is no one above you. I know that you know that I'm here for you forever true. 'Cause you're my Black brother, strong brother, there is no one above you. I know that you know that I'm here for you forever true." Hey! Angie, rest in peace, baby. Rest in peace. That breaks. It's been on my mind for 2 weeks since I found out when I was in Brazil. But rest in peace, and my condolences to her children, her family, to her fans, everybody who loved on Angie. Yeah. You'll never be forgotten over here in the comment section. Never, Angie. Never, ever, 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 ever. Especially when you gave us that nice anthem. So, rest in peace. All right, let's lighten up the mood. I know you watched the Real Housewives premiere because I did. I watched live, and I never watch TV live. All right, I was so excited for this premiere. I haven't been this excited for a premiere maybe since season 10 Atlanta Housewives premiere when Nene and Kim Zolciak agreed to come back for that season. I was excited for that premiere, and I was also excited for season 14 when Sheree returned and Marlo got her peach. But I can't think of any other time where I was excited for a premiere. I watched, and I was impressed. I liked it. I was it really was a great premiere. Like, I was just so shocked how everybody just flowed. It didn't feel like it did feel like a revamp, but at the same time, it didn't, if that makes sense. Shamia Morton, she stole the show. Shamia stole the show. We all know Shamia as being Portia's best friend, but I thought that, because I was never a fan of Shamia, and I think I said this on the podcast before, I can't say who it is. Someone who knows Shamia follows me on Mr. Housewives, my Instagram blog page. And when I found out that Shamia was going to be getting the peach, I was really vocal, like, why her? I can't stand her. She sucks, yada, yada, yada. And the person who knows Shamia, I can't say who they are because they are very close to her, kept vouching for her, kept saying, you're going to love her. She's not like how she's portrayed on when she was on the show previously. And I'm like, all right, whatever. But now I see what he means. Shamia is rich. Rich. Her house is a palace. I did not know Shamia was an actual Real Housewife. Did you know that? I had no idea. I knew she was a cheerleader and, an attempted actress and an attempted singer, but I didn't know that she had coins like that. Yeah, she has coins. Yeah. Her husband, I want to say, she said that her husband does the heating and cooling systems in all the airports, and that's where his money come from. But she's rich, very rich, and she stole the show. Shamia stole the show. Shamia, it was real fun. She's sarcastic. She's funny. She's real, and I was impressed. I was real impressed. Now, Shamia and Portia was pretty much a star of this episode. Oh, Kenya as well. Kenya Moore. She was, all three of them, Kenya, Portia, and Shamia was a star. So we're getting to know Shamia. That's how the show opened up, to Shamia and her palace. And she's putting together a birthday party. And she's talking about how she's friends with everybody on the show and how everyone is connected in some type of way. So Shamia is really the glue to this new cast. She's the reason why this cast came together, which explains why she got that peach and why she's standing in the middle of the introduction theme song, which I don't like the red. I don't like the graphics, and I don't like the red, the red dresses, and I don't like the way they're sitting when they're holding the peach. It just, I don't know. It just, I preferred last season's introduction, their graphics. It was in a grand, probably Shamia's house. It was in this big house, and the women were holding a peach at the bottom of the stairs. I prefer that look than this graphic, but that's not important. Well, to some people it is, because to me it's not, because I skip over the theme song when I watch on Peacock. Bloop. Skip right over it. I never like theme songs. It's just because in this day and age, I like the option of skipping theme songs, because this is a waste of time. Like, that's just 50 seconds that we don't have to have. Get rid of it. Skip over it. Anyway, so yeah, Shamia was the star of the show. We got to know Shamia. Portia returned after a couple seasons being off the show. I think 2 seasons being off the show. And she's going through divorce from her husband, Simon Guacamole. As we all know, Simon was found guilty of fraudulent activity, and then he's also an illegal immigrant. And Portia filed for divorce from him. And in this premiere episode, she went back to the same divorce attorney that she went to for her first marriage with Cordell Stewart. Shout out to his ex-wife. Oh, let me not say that yet, because we're still in the work. Cordell's first wife, his baby mother, I think actually not his first wife, his baby mother, might be coming on the podcast. We're working something out. She was a woman Remember in the early seasons of Atlanta Housewives, maybe season 2 or 3, where Nene, she told Nene she was fat. Remember, Nene was like, "You look like you can use a sandwich or two," and she's like, "Well, I know I got room to grow, so I can be like you." That's Cordell's baby mother or first wife. Either they have a kid together. That Sheree's friend. So we follow each other on my personal page, and so we're working something out. So hopefully she can come on the podcast soon. Because her life now is very interesting. She lives in Italy, and I would just love to just talk to her, so I can see how her life is living in Italy as a Black woman. Why did I bring up Cordell? Oh, because Portia went back to that same divorce attorney that she went to for Cordell. And the crazy part is Bravo is so shady because it literally is 10 years apart. Portia filed for divorce from Cordell in 2013, and then she filed for divorce from Simon in 2024. So 11 years apart from each other. And in those 11 years, I am still single and not married. That's the part I didn't like. Like, I'm still living the same single life that I was living. Like, goddamn, Portia went through 2 marriages. I can't get to one. I can't even get into one long distance relationship. I mean, not long distance. I can't even get into one long term relationship. Like, why did God curse me with this life? Nobody wants to celebrate my birthday. Nobody even wants to be in a relationship with me. I keep reminding myself, I'm blessed. I got to go to Brazil. I'm blessed. I got to go to Italy last summer. I'm blessed. I got to go to Aruba the year before. Keep spitting. Good thing no one's in front of me because I'm just like a spitter. Actually, I'm a swallower. No spitting over here. I don't know why I'm single if I'm a swallower, right? Oh my God, I'm funny. I crack myself up sometimes. Ooh, sorry for coughing in your ears. I'm sorry. It's better. It's getting better. It is getting better. Like I was coughing every fucking 15 minutes earlier. But yeah, it's this real crazy how she got divorced nearly 10 years apart from each other. And I don't think it's a good idea for Portia even to return to the show because I think she left the show to avoid questions of how she got with Simon. We all know that she met Simon when Simon was married to that, is a Fallon good woman? I didn't watch that season, but I think her name is Fallon. Fallon or Felon? I can't be Felon because Felon is what Karen Huger is. It might be Fallon. Fallon. She was married, and Fallon was a friend of that season, and she was married to Simon, and then that Portia. So we all know how she got with Simon, and so I think that she left the show because she didn't want to. Once that season ended, is when she officially announced that she is dating Simon, and she possibly was engaged to Simon too when the show ended. That season ended, so she left the show to avoid all the questions by the other women. So in her mind, she probably thought that now that she's divorcing Simon, that no one's going to question her. That new girl, Kelly, she said, not today. As soon as Kelly saw Portia, she asked her, so you really took that woman's man? Or something like that. Caught Portia way off guard. Portia was like, she said, I'm done talking to you. That's a Kenya Moore move. That is a Kenya Moore move what that Kelly girl did. I couldn't believe that little short little thing, Kelly. She's a spitfire. Who would have thought that someone 4'10" would have well, that is a Napoleon syndrome. You remember the Napoleon, the ruler in the 1700s? He was always angry and a spitfire. And so I think that every short person now is referred to Napoleon whenever they're a spitfire. Kelly, is it Keely or Kelly? I might be pronouncing her name wrong. You're new, so I can call you whatever for now because I don't know you yet. So I'm going to call you Kelly. It might be Keely, but I could be wrong again. I'm just going to call you Cal. I'm going to call you Kay. No, Kay's from Potomac. Girl, I'm just going to call you short girl. Napoleon. I'm going to call you Napoleon. Napoleon, I don't know where I was getting to. I'm up here trying to figure out what name to call her, and I missed my whole entire fucking point. This podcast is a mess. Why do you guys listen to me? Why? This podcast is so unprofessional and just so all over the place. What is happening? I've been gone for 2 weeks. I can't remember what I was talking about with Kelly, Napoleon. Anyways, Portia, I don't think it was a good decision for you to come back. I know that you probably need the money now that Simon has has his funds frozen by the government and you probably need some coins. So the only option was to come back to Housewives. But these women are going to be applying pressure to you because these new women were fans of the show and they have questions, just like the fans have questions. And so I like how the new woman, I like how Napoleon was grilling Portia, and Portia couldn't take the heat. She could not take the heat. Now, like I mentioned, the third star of the premiere was Kenya Moore. We all know that Kenya is no longer a housewife. She got demoted, not even to a friend of. Andy Cohen said that she is a supporting role. Like, you can't even get a title, like an official title. Her little card, you know how, when the friend of or the supporting role come on the show and their name pops up, it said Drew's friend. They gave Kenya the title of Drew's friend. No, Drew is Kenya's friend. I don't care if Drew is a housewife. She is Kenya's friend. You ain't gonna do Kenya Moore like that. Many fans are upset that Kenya is reduced to a supporting role. Now, Kenya had 2 scenes. She was in the first 15 minutes of the episode. She met with Drew. Drew, little sneaky ass, was telling Kenya how she is meeting with Dennis, which is Portia's ex-baby daddy, and how Dennis is her music producer. And, Kenya was wondering, how is he your music producer when he couldn't get her music to go nowhere? That was good shade, because that is a good point. Portia had that song Flatline, and it flatlined. So how he gonna try to promote you, and he ain't even try to promote Portia? Make it make sense. But that was the first scene. And then the second scene is when she came to Shamia's birthday party. And then she got to meet the other new women, Napoleon, Britt Eady, and Angela Oakley. Angela, I like you. Angela looks like she don't play. She has that resting bitch face, and I like that resting bitch face. I'm scared of you, Angela, but I like you. She seems like she is going to be a great addition to the show. I don't want to say older, but she's an older woman. She looks like she's the oldest of the group. She looks around Kenya's age. Like, she looks like she could be like in her early 50s. Is that shade? Let me see how old she is, actually. Because I might be shady. Hold on. She looks older. I'm about to find out. I'm Googling. For those who are not watching me on YouTube, I'm Googling how old she is right now. Angela Oakley. Let's see how old she is. I thought I'd just type, if I type her name, her age will pop up. Her age. Damn. They don't even know? Okay. Her husband was born in 1963, but when was she born? I can't find her age. I can't. So her husband is 61. I'm assuming she's in her early 50s. I'm assuming she's going to be around Kenya's age. She excuse me. Ooh, I can't. I'm sorry. I can't help it, guys. I'm sick. I'm so sorry for coughing in your ears. I'm only assuming that she's in her early 50s. If he's 61, I'm gonna assume Angela is 51, 10 years younger. But she looks like she is nothing to play with. I like you so far, Angela. I like you. But Kenya, fans are upset about Kenya having a reduced role. And in her second scene, when she was at Shamia's birthday party, she was, to me, really pleasant to the new women. She introduced herself. She was lovely. Now, Britt Eady, that's the one Kenya will have a later incident with that led to her dismissal on the show. She was angry that Kenya didn't hug her. Now, when Kenya walked in the scene, she hugged Drew and she hugged Cynthia. Because she knows them. That's what you do when you know people. Her and Cynthia have known each other for over 10 years, so you hug them. Britt was offended that Kenya didn't hug her or Napoleon. She don't know you. Like, she said, "Hi, I'm Kenya." I think she shook their hands, but why are you offended that she didn't hug you? She don't know you. You should know how you roll. Like, girl. To me, it looked like Britt was looking for an issue, because that was a rumor too. Britt kept coming for Kenya, and when Kenya finally clapped back, that's when Kenya allegedly showed that explicit photo of Britt. So it's the camera footage is showing that Britt may just be trying to start something with Kenya. To me, Kenya welcomed you. Kenya don't really welcome new people. She's usually shady. She usually does a twirl. She ignores you. The fact that she introduced herself and was laughing and trying to get to know you, to me, she was coming with good energy, Britt. So that's just my forecast of of their soon to come feud. Sorry, y'all. Keep coughing. I apologize. I apologize. Um, but yeah, 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 yeah. Mm-hmm. Right. I don't know what I was talking about. I'm so sober, by the way. I'm not drinking alcohol. I'm not used to doing this show alone. I was supposed to have a special guest come on. I actually told him the wrong day. Sorry, Demetrius. We're gonna have to reschedule. So I wasn't supposed to be on this episode alone. I'm not used to doing it alone. I prefer to do it with somebody for moments like this when I forget what I'm talking about. And it helps to it always helps to have someone else on the show for conversation. I like to talk. I'm just talking to myself at this point. It's like masturbating. I like to do it with somebody. Well, not masturbate. I like to talk to people. I like to do this podcast with people. But, I just don't like doing it alone. And it seems like I will be for the remainder of the series, unfortunately. But we'll see. But I like the premiere. I thought it was really, really great. I am looking for episode 2. Now, the new women. Let me just talk about the new women before we wrap up, because what we're looking at time. Oh, we're running out of time. Okay, so let me have to pull up the picture. The new women. So I gave my opinion about Britt. I think that, I didn't give my opinion about Britt. Now, Britt is one of the new women. Now she's the one who has an incident with Kenya, as I mentioned. Her husband, the Twitter is saying that her husband is bisexual and that he sleeps around with men on the low behind Britt's back. Allegedly. That's not what I didn't say that. That's what I read on the day of the premiere. Like, people on Twitter were saying that Britt's husband is known to be sleeping with men on the side. I'm not surprised. I think that every man in this world is bisexual, unless you're gay, because I'm not bisexual. I don't find nothing attractive about a vagina. But for straight men, I think that, a lot of them are curious to know what it is like to be sleeping with another man. So I'm not surprised if that is true, but that's what was said on Sunday on the Twitter. Now, Napoleon has 4 kids. In this episode, one of the kids was turning 17, I think, and Napoleon gave her daughter 17 designer bags. They went from Chanel to YSL, to Gucci, and that was like $30,000 total. 17, because each bag is like $1,500 to $2,000. So 17 bags can equal up to $30,000. That's a flex. That is a flex, because it takes me about 4 months, 6 months to get $30,000. So the fact that you just got it like that, just to spend on just on silly little handbags for your 17-year-old daughter, tells me that you got a lot of coin. As a single mother of 4, that's a flex. Now, Napoleon is a chef. She has multiple restaurants in Atlanta. I think they're saying that one of her restaurants is the chicken and waffle spot. Sorry again for coughing. Next time I go to Atlanta, I definitely want to taste her restaurant. I want to see if it's better than Candy's restaurant. I've never been to Candy's restaurant. Every time I go, I've never been to Candy's restaurant. I heard it's not good. But I do want to go to Napoleon's restaurant just so I can let you guys know, because I'm messy. I like a good storytelling. And Angela. So we'll talk about the other one. Angela, I like you so far. I like your demeanor. You seem like you do not put up with any bullshit. You seem like a straight caller. So a shot caller, straight straight shooter. That's the word I'm looking for. A straight shooter. And I hopefully that you don't get sucked into the bullshit drama. We need a mature person in the group. Because out of these group of ladies, I don't know who is the mature one. We're used to having a Cynthia on the show, or we're used to, who's on the show last year that was mature? Candy Burst was the mature one on the series for a long time. And so I don't know who I can say is mature out of these group of women. It definitely ain't Drew. Drew's just a dingbat. I don't see how she's the only person from last season who was back full time this season. How did she survive? This is her second or third revamp. She was on season 13. Then they had a revamp because Portia and Cynthia got fired. So that was the first revamp. And now this is her second revamp. How is she surviving these revamps? She's not that interesting to me at all. And the fact that you and Portia, I did not know that Drew was the brand ambassador of Go Naked or Hair Naked, whatever Portia's hair thing is called. I did not know that she was the brand ambassador of the business. And then you're up here working with her baby daddy, her ex. That is insane to me, Drew. And you didn't think about telling her? That is insane. And fucking sane. She's a dingbat. Great for television, but I can never be friends with Drew. And next week, I saw the sneak peek of next week's episode, the first 10 minutes. I don't know why Bravo does that. Bravo always releases the first 10 minutes of the next episode after the first episode ends. Portia eats you up, and you deserve it. You deserve every eatery she does to you. Is eatery a word? Did I just use that in the correct sentence? Probably not. Whatever. It's my first day back. I was on two-week holiday, darling. I was on a 2-week holiday. I was in Brazil. They did not speak a lick of English, by the way, down there. Not a lick of English. And I like that. I was a foreigner in Brazil. They didn't even know Spanish. They speak Portuguese. I was just so lost. You know how here, when someone doesn't speak English, we talk to them slow. Do you not understand what I'm saying? We talk slow and loud. That's what they were doing to me, I feel like. They were just blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, what are you saying to me? I just loved it. I just loved being a foreigner. Yeah. Brazil was really good. It was really fun. Really fun. Yeah. But that's my thought about the recap of the Housewives. I hope I did an appropriate recap. Because what else is there to talk about? We talked about all the women. Yeah, so I like the premiere. If you have not watched the premiere yet, please go ahead and watch it. I think that you will like it, especially if you love Atlanta Housewives. Now, of course, it's not going to be like the Atlanta that we know with Kim, Sheree, and Nene. This is the new group of women. But unlike that New York City revamp, I think that this revamp actually will work. Because we do have familiar faces. We have Drew, Portia, and Shamia, and Kenya, and Cynthia. So it's not like a revamp with all new women. But at the same time, it is a revamp. I do still think that Sheree should have returned. I love me some Sheree. I really like me Sheree. Really disappointing that they didn't bring her back, but I like it. I'll be back this Sunday, to watch episode 2. So, yeah. All right, what's next on the docket? Lisa Barlow from Salt Lake City. Let's talk about Lisa real quick. This cuckoo bird. She's like Drew, just fucking delusional. Now, Salt Lake City has officially started their filming season 6. So season 6 is currently in production. All the women from last season is invited back, and they all have started to film. And the women are already on their first group trip of the season. Everyone except for Lisa Barlow. Now, the word on the curb is that Lisa has not signed her contract or started filming because she is allegedly holding out for $1 million per season. Lisa, $1 million? Okay, this is when I made that post on my Instagram page, Mr. Housewives. I keep saying that just in case people don't follow me. A lot of people are saying that she deserves it. Why does Lisa deserve it? Lisa is not the star of Salt Lake City. The person who was the star of Salt Lake City, who was the face of that franchise, is currently sitting next to, let me start that over. Let me start that shade over again. The person who was the face of that franchise is currently sitting next to Karen Huger, all right, in prison. She's no longer there on the show. These women collectively are the face of the franchise. When I think of Salt Lake City, I think of Lisa, Heather, Mary, and now Angie. I think of those 4 women. I don't just think of one person for Salt Lake City. Well, I do, but like I said, that person's no longer on the show. That person is Jen Shaw, for those who don't know who I'm talking about. Jen Shaw was the face of Salt Lake City. And if Jen Shaw was currently on this show still, she would be the only one who deserves $1 million, quite honestly. That's my opinion. Lisa, you are no Nene Leakes. You're no Bethany Franco. You're no Kenya Moore. You're no Giselle Bryant. You are not the face of your franchise. And by the way, I don't know if Giselle's getting $1 million, but for Kenya, Bethany, Nene, and, probably Ramona and Lisa Vanderpump, when they were getting $1 million, their franchise, their shows were getting over 1 million views. Your franchise is only getting 300,000 viewers. You're not getting $1 million worth. Like, that's not $1 million, baby. Like, Atlanta Housewives, we're getting 2 million viewers. So Candy, Nene, and Kim are getting $1 million. New York City, Bethany, Ramona, and Countess Luann. I can't believe I just called her Countess Luann. I hate calling her Countess Luann. But they were getting 1 million viewers. Beverly Hills, 2 million viewers. Salt Lake City has not, I think the most Salt Lake City has ever gotten, like, amount of views is probably 500,000 viewers. That's it. That doesn't bring in $1 million, baby. Lisa, you're delusional. You are delusional. There are pictures of Lisa filming with her husband. I don't know if these pictures are new, old. So she might have put her tail between her legs and came back crawling back to, the production team and said, I'll do it. I'll come back for, I don't know, $500,000. That's all you deserve, in my opinion. You, Heather, Mary, and Angie, 500,000 easily. And that's actually a lot. Let's lower it. 300,000. You guys are in season 6. You're fairly new, but you guys are not getting that many viewers, so it's crazy. You're asking for more money than what you're bringing in. That's how it works, So yeah, there are pictures of Lisa recently filming with her husband, John. So like I said, I don't know if these pictures are old or new, if she decided to come back, but as of right now, she is not on that group trip, and she has not filmed with the group yet. So we shall see. I'll keep you guys posted, of course. That's my job. Keep you all posted to see if she's returning or not. So, I went well over time. But I think I talked about everything I had to talk about. I think I knocked all my points out. Yeah, I talked about everything. So I guess that's just a wrap for today's episode. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope I made sense. I hope I carried the show really well and I made sense and I enunciated my words and I didn't cough in your ear a million times. Sorry, about to clear my throat again. I swear I have bronchitis. I know I have bronchitis. Ever since that guy told me, or ever since I found out that he tested positive for bronchitis, I'm like, that's what I fucking got. He gave it to me. I had no idea bronchitis wasn't contagious. I thought only fat people can get it. I thought it was like for diabetic heavyset people. I didn't know that anybody could get it. Anyone fit and cute and sexy. But no, seriously, I didn't know it was contagious. So, but yeah, that's today's show. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you tune in next Friday for another great episode of the comment section. And thanks for listening. And yeah, I'll just talk to you next week. That's a terrible way of ending this episode. I have to learn how to end this episode appropriately. I have to learn how to do this episode alone now. But yeah, so that's it, everybody. All right, I'm logging out. Bye.